like, God, like what happens is I get a genius idea. So I woke up remember when I was like, oh, I told you I'm Nintendo switching in bed. I set a 30-minute timer, turned the timer off, and I fell back to sleep at 12:30 in the afternoon. And then woke up like 20 minutes later. And as soon as I decided to go to my schedule, I had a genius idea. I sat up and I thought to myself, wow, I don't want to be on my devices right now, but like I want to be able to like interface with all the AI things I have in my house and like get them to like help me. And I thought, wow, if I just had like a projector on a track that like went back and forth in the room, it could project like the image wherever I was looking. So like
Right.
I could be working out and there could be someone helping me like work out. Obviously I work out like this. I don't know why. And then, and
Did
then
you
it could be
see that show, the movie Uglies that just came out, where they have the
no
projectors in their hands and like,
perfect. I need
yeah,
that. Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah. And so I started thinking about that and I was like, oh, and I realized, oh, self-sabotage genius is active, which means like today I can either decide to be very creative and just let myself go, or I'm going to have to stick to a very regimented like schedule.
We were talking about this with the Motion AI, like the setup and
Yeah.
stuff. And so one thing I love about my coach is like, I told her, I was like, yeah, so I need a schedule. I don't know what the fuck to do. Like I fired my boss. So I know I need structure, but when it comes to setting it up, I just don't want to do it. She's like, look, if you don't feel like setting it up, we're just going to hire somebody on Upwork for $50 to set it up for us. Like, we're not doing things that we don't want to do. She was like, yeah, we're not ready to hire a whole team, but that doesn't mean we can't delegate shit like this. Like, this is a waste of your time. This isn't what you're here to do. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm going to do that today. You're
That's
so
such
right.
a
Remember
relief.
last week? Yeah, remember last week I was like, I need to.
I went to look on
I'm going to do
Upwork
that today.
and I couldn't find anybody that would set it up because when I typed in Motion AI, it was just people to help you with like video editing. So the idea of hiring somebody for like $50 to do things we don't want to do is great. I still think I might have to set mine up.
Yeah. Well, so do you remember last week I said I was going to time block?
Yeah. So she gave me a time block schedule and I'm like, oh wow, like that was so easy. And then another thing was I freaked out because this week, just talking about productivity and tech tools, I'm like the tech girl. Like I got all the things. Me and you are very similar like that. We're just like, oh my God, love it. Yep, we're doing it. And so I had a client who I found out she had paid me in June and then hadn't paid since then. And I was really upset with myself that I hadn't caught it sooner. And I was like, I need to have an automation so this doesn't happen again. And I'm like all freaking out. And I'm like, so first of all, that's like less than $300, but you could go on live and get a $5,000 client like in an hour. So are we really stressed about it? But I hadn't really thought it through at that point. So my ass went and created an entire ConvertKit landing page to do this, send it to my coach because she had asked me, she said, so how's it going with that onboarding thing? Because I had told her I was having issues with Stripe and I was going to have to get another platform and da-da-da-da. And she's like, so how did we come up with ConvertKit? Like, what was the thought process there? And I'm like, blah, 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 like breaking down all the things for her. And she's like, okay, so, but we already have ThriveCart. Like I've got all the platforms, right? She's like, we're not adding to the app stack. She said, whenever you're going to do something in your business, she's like, people think that scaling is about adding things. She said that scaling is about simplifying. And she said, you already have ThriveCart. She's like, we're not worried about $300. Like, and I was like, I can't stop marketing because then my business loses all momentum. Like, I know I have to do these things, but I feel like I have to do all the back end things in order to make this work. And she's like, so we're just going to continue marketing. She's like, you already have Stand Store. It's already working. You have the platform. You have Searchy set up. She said, so we're just going to get another 5K client and we're going to get another marketing coach and marketing consultant client. And then later this month, we'll hire somebody to set up our ThriveCart and do Zapier. And I was like, wow, I can do that. Like, I just would have never.
Isn't it weird that like you would give that advice to me if you were coaching me, and I would give that advice to you, but we will not
not to yourself.
Like,
to me, it's like I gotta figure it out. I have to do this. This has to be solved right now, and this just has to be done. So you're just gonna get over it, Amanda. And then I wonder why I'm so burned out or frustrated. And she's like, "No, you love going live. You love making content. We're gonna keep doing that. We're gonna hire somebody for ThriveCart. We're not going to do ThriveCart." And I was like, wow, that is so cool. We're not going to do ThriveCart. Because I said, I didn't want to do ThriveCart because I was like, it just feels so hard. Like I was like, I can do it, but I don't want to do it. She's like, then we're not going to do it.
Then don't do it. Then don't
Then
do
we're
it.
not going to do it.
That's genius. Do you know what I think is the difference between like being in that place where you're in, which you're in a very fed space, and even thinking about myself, like where I was maybe a year ago, it's not forcing ourselves to be lonely. Like reaching out to people and asking for like that reflection, that mirror. Because like I think before when I wasn't doing those things or when you weren't doing those things, it's because we just isolated ourselves and we were so siloed and we were like, we need help. But then all we would do is try to help ourselves by reading and studying, and we just weren't getting with people. And like people help, like that's what's so ingenious about coaching. People don't realize, like sometimes my first session, people are often just like, well, so like asking me about my qualifications, my certifications, and my life experience. And then eventually I tell them, listen, I'm just here because you need somebody to just hold space for you because I'm going to elicit your genius. That's all this is, right? I'm just going to elicit your genius. And so sometimes like you don't, you're unaware of all that you bring with you. But I'm just here to be like a mirror and just, I'm not going to bring you any expertise that wasn't already within you because you called this forth. And so I think that's what's happening right now is that you poured so much into the work and then poured so much into a few people. And now you're reaching out to people and they're like giving you back all that stuff that you've done. Yeah.
It's funny you guys are talking about this because I haven't listened to any podcasts in a while. I listened to one yesterday and it's Simon Sinek, love the guy. And it's How to Be an Entrepreneur with Jeff Rosenthal. And that's exactly what he talks about. He's like, it's about the community around you that you get to build stuff with you. So I would recommend that one for you guys.
Is everything.
Okay, I'm going to listen to that. Yeah. Tell me the name of the episode again. How to Be an Entrepreneur?
Yeah, How to Be an Entrepreneur with Jeff Rosenthal. It is actually March 7, 2023. So like super random. I was scrolling and I was like, oh, this one looks interesting.
You were meant to hear it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. And he talks about he's a very giving kind of entrepreneur where he gives a lot back for free, which I think is Mike Gowan's kind of mindset, nice. Right? So it's funny that everything happens for a reason, right?
I would call Mike, he's like traditional, like bro, love him so much. And like, of course, but he's like more the traditional bro marketing. Like that dude could make a funnel in his sleep. He could make a course and have it done tomorrow. Yeah. It's just nothing to him. And what happened was when we found him, he was what I needed at the time. But then it got to the point where it was like, I was supposed to make a funnel and he was like, yeah, we're going to do this, this, and this. And I was just like, I don't want to do it. Like, I just don't want to. And
that work to him is nothing. Like, he's just like,
nothing.
He will literally just sit there and build like a 27 part course. It'll be 27 parts. It'll be 9 modules. There'll be 3 in each module. And he will tell, I mean, like that shit is already in my brain that's what he does. Right. Like, and he'll just be like, it's so easy. It's so easy. Hold on. And I'm just sitting there like.
And I did a call just with Mike, and we were on for like a few hours, and I thought he was going to help me make the funnel, but he was just showing me the whole process, and all I could think was like how overwhelmed I was by even the thought of starting with it.
Right. I mean, all I can say from like my own, is that he must be a great lover. He's got to be a great.
Very giving.
It's going back to that. He must be such a giving, thoughtful.
If I said I had not thought about that.
Yeah. How's it feeling for you?
Right. So, the whole time you were saying that he was just hammering you for 2 hours, that's all I was thinking.
Right?
Please, if anybody watching right now wants to be a guest on the podcast, we'll probably talk about your bedroom activities later on.
Well,
Mike knows I'm an idiot.
What kind of lover you are.
He really is.
That's what I should have asked him right off when we opened the podcast. Like, so Mike, are you a giving lover?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he is. He has to be.
How do we know that's true, though?
Anyway,
I just want to know more about his personal life. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
So anyways, I had gone down that path with Mike and started freaking myself the fuck out because I had and then another thing Carla said was like, you already have this huge app stack. You've got your 2 schools. You're going to Searchy. We've still got this. I've got Loom. I don't even know how many. She's like, we're not adding to the app stack. We're not adding anything else. You're done. And I'm like, my intuition is always to add more, do more work, make it better. And that's what I'm finding is never the answer. Because if your marketing stops, you're not getting clients, your whole business stops. And she's like, everything is solved by having more clients. Like, the more clients you bring in, the more money you're making, the more you can pay other people to do the shit that you don't want to do.
Yeah, and it's all monthly subscriptions too, so that adds up. But I'm right there right now. I want to do videos. I have 4 video editors, and like I don't know which one to start, because then I'm like, I like this one. Even these podcast softwares, I'm like, I think I have 3, and it's like, holy crap, like which one do you use? And then it's the matter of just, okay, you know what? Let's sit with this one and let's figure out this one. And if we need an add-on, then let's get the add-on or whatever, right? But let's not just buy another one, or
no, we should definitely buy another one. We should definitely buy more stuff.
Wait, what are we buying? What are we buying? What are we buying? I was looking for this book on my shelf that I was going to recommend to Steph called Digital Minimalism.
Okay, cool.
And it's by Cal Newport. Do you know who Cal Newport is?
That rings a bell. I feel.
Yeah. So he has a podcast called Deep Life Questions or Deep Questions.
Yeah.
He went to MIT and now he's a professor. He's a real geeky guy, but he talks about like how to think, like how to get things done. And his whole concept is digital minimalism. I thought I had the book around here somewhere. But he talks. So he embraces the phone foyer method. He leaves his phone in the foyer when he gets home, plugged in.
Ooh, okay.
Because what he talks about is your brain is constantly cognitive switching in different boxes, and that's why email doesn't work. Because so if you're looking at an email about like marketing, and then you get an email from your child's school, your brain has to switch to a whole different thing. And so what happens is you going through your email inbox is not a fun thought, because it's just random things. It'd be like if I said to you, hey, do you want to go to the grocery store? And then let's get some brassieres. We're going to get some brassieres at the grocery store. And then, I'm thinking that we should get a muffler for my car. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, this doesn't make sense.
It just sounds like a normal Sunday.
Right. You'd be like, there's, that's a bunch of tricks.
Can
that's
we go back to like getting a brassiere though? Like,
right.
Right.
Just stuck on right now.
But do you? I don't think people know what a brassiere is anymore. I don't think that's probably gone, right? They just say, right? If I say brassiere, that lets me know how old someone is. If I'm just like, hello, like if I'm trying to figure out if they're my age, I go brassiere, and they're like,
brassiere,
bless you, and then I'm like, okay, they're too young. They're too young.
That's a country in South America, right? Like,
yeah, brassiere. They'd be like, oh no, I don't speak Spanish. Thank you.
Speak Portuguese. It was fun.
But no, so I think like you have to remove options. We have to start, like, that's what I've started to do, is to like prune. And if you're really extreme, then you kind of have to go the other way. That's why I've kind of been like bombing, not like from like a terrorist perspective, if like people are listening. But like
watch.
I mean, like failing at things, like right. I'm like, so just started showing ISIS for fun. No. Like bombing, and then also what I've been doing is like not being friendly, because that takes away from my like, because I'm overly friendly. So like in my building, in the elevator, I always have to be like, hi, how's everyone doing? Like,
it's like I'm not trying to talk to everybody all the time.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't yesterday. Was it this morning? This morning, a lady said something kind of out of pocket to me in the elevator, and just continued talking, and then I just said, have a good day. Like in the middle of her conversation.
Hold on, let's talk about that, because you say not being friendly, and I think I kind of disagree with your statement there. What would be kind of another way of putting it?
You're right.
Energy.
You're right. No, she's right though, because what I'm saying is friendly is not friendly. I'm always friendly. What I'm saying is friendly is being like overly social. You're right. It's more that I need to just stay in my lane.
Because you're using the word not, right? And we shouldn't be using the word not. So how do you flip it on what exactly you need to be doing?
Yeah.
Right?
So what I need to be doing is guarding my energy and protecting my peace by just staying in my lane, instead of being so concerned that everybody's happy or that they're liking me in every given moment.
Staying in your lane.
Checking in with everybody. Yeah, just sort of staying in my lane, and also just setting boundaries. Like when the lady started talking to me and saying these kind of weird out of pocket things, my first reaction is like, we're going to fix this conversation so she doesn't feel awkward afterwards, right?
Right.
Then I just thought to myself, like, no, abort this bitch. I'm done. Like,
so this isn't my responsibility.
Yeah. Right, so, we're on floor like 23, and we've started on floor 23 in the elevator. We're down to like 14, so we have 14 more to go. And like I just say to her, thank you, have a good day, and turn around. Even though we have to ride for 14 more floors together.
That was probably so hard and uncomfortable for you, but it felt so much better after. I was listening to this book, and he was talking about just like there's a lot of people who have come to the planet in the recent like past few decades that are here to like raise the vibration of the planet, and we're often very sensitive, very empathic, picking up on everybody's like cues. And I think you and I both have this, but just like growing up, you were absorbing so much from your environment, taking care of everybody else, and I felt so affected by the emotions of other people around me, and it was like my job to make sure everybody was good. And so now I really relate to it. When I go to the grocery store, I usually have my AirPods in and I just like keep it in, because if I go in there and I'm so wide open, when I leave, I feel so drained. It's like I don't have anything left. And so it's not like being unfriendly. It's just like bringing my energy back in and not just like letting it go everywhere, because then you don't have anything left.
I totally agree with that. And the other thing that I've started to do now is like I try to reaffirm myself when I go beyond that. So like if someone hits on me and they're like, "Oh, I just want to let you know you're attractive," or whatever, I'm very proud of myself, and I'm like, I am not interested. Thank you.
That's amazing.
I'm smiling not because I'm being mean to them. I'm smiling because I used to be like, well, I would totally sleep with you today, but like I'm kind of busy because I've got stuff to do, just to like be a people pleaser. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm very proud of myself now when I'm just like, when I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to date or ever speak to you again. Have a good day. Like when I'm just honest and I'm like, that's not good. Like, because it's this feeling of walking away from somebody and knowing that you said exactly what you meant to say, and you didn't have to sell any part of yourself. You didn't have to betray yourself. You can just,
There's
and
so
I'm being
much
a little
power in that.
Yeah, and I'm exaggerating a little. I wouldn't tell them like never no. You know what I mean?
No.
But I'm just like, oh no, thank you. And that used to never be me. I used to be so drained by like just worrying about what other people are doing, and
much.
like mind reading. That's what my therapist calls it. Mind reading is like looking at their facial expressions and like
everything.
I can totally empathize with comedians, because I totally feel like comedians are just constantly reading the room and being like, is this funny? Is this funny?
So like, sensitive.
You ever met like a really reactive comedian who hates, like, if the audience, like Bill Maher, if the audience kind of like lulls, he's like, screw you guys anyway. Like he immediately gets mad about like, unless they're just constantly, that's a bad lover. That's a bad lover right there.
That's true.
Because I guarantee the entire time you have to be like,
oh my God, this is so amazing.
Right.
It's like really almost like courageous and coming into your power. And I think one thing that coaching has really helped me with, or that I've seen, it's like learning the power of no, and like what you are and what you're not willing to do. And when you first start out in business, it feels like there's so many things that have to be done all the time, right? And you end up, it's like you go from working for somebody else into working for yourself, but you go from a 40-hour job to an 80-hour week job, and you're like driving yourself crazy. At least I was. And so it's like learning how to create that freedom proactively. And like, usually what I would do is like, you end up overcommitted and overextended. And so learning to say no, and having the courage to tell people like, thank you so much, but no, thank you. Like, thanks, but no, thanks. It's like,
you're putting yourself first, right?
Yeah.
You're putting yourself, like when somebody cancels, right? And it's not within the 24 hours, and they're like, well, I'm going to charge you anyways. And they're like, can't you be nice or whatever? Or for me, it's just even asking for money in the first place, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
I'll do everything for free, but then it's like,
right. It's like,
your
I
time
try to provide so much value, and then I forget. I'm like,
your time is your most valuable asset. 100%. And I think what coaching has done for me too is like teaches you how to think. It's like you're not trying to make your clients dependent on you forever, but like helping them learn how to think. But I think what you were just saying, Stephanie, in terms of sales, like we have this thing in our head. A lot of people struggle with sales, that it's like, oh, if I charge for it, it somehow makes it less valuable, or like I should just do this for them because I'm trying to help, but it's like not actually helpful.
Yeah,
people value what they pay for.
100%, 100%. Right, they're committed, right? Because they have something in it now.
Right. I will say the biggest difference between like a $47 client, I still have people paying me $47 in my old group that I've never seen. And the biggest difference between a $150 client and a $5K client is the way that they show up and the amount of work that they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I pay $5K for something, I'm gonna do the homework, right? And if I pay $150 for something, and this comes from a place of privilege, I'll be like, you know, like, okay, I'll skip a week and I'll get there or whatever.
It's just a one-off, you know, or it's just a one-off. Like, you know what I mean? Like $150 are people that like might have just one problem they need you for, and then they're out, and then they're out. So it's like, it's not bad, but if you want,
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the
right.
You know,
that's an okay hourly. It's not an okay monthly, because that's just not it's not a priority.
No, you're totally right.
And there's
totally
so much work behind the scenes.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Like, okay, I have a coaching thing tomorrow. It's an hour. Like, it's not just that hour that I show up. It's the leading up to it. It's all the books I've read. It's all the podcasts I've listened to, right? It's the courses that we do, that we attend. It's the business coach that you're paying, right? Like, that's all 100%. Our bag of tools, right? There's a meme about that, about like I think a solderer on a boat or something, and it's the same kind of idea. It's you're paying for my toolbox, right?
Yeah.
You're not just paying for that hour that you're with me.
Years of experience that got me here. Yeah. And really, they're paying for the result. At the end of the day, they're paying for a result. Like, and people get so caught up in like the price. Like, I think coaches always think the price is the problem, but it's like, if you go to the dentist and he takes 15 hours to extract a tooth, you want to pay him more or less than the dentist who can do it in 10 minutes? Like, we're getting away from like exchanging the time for money, because as long as you're trading time for money, you're limited, because we have limited time, and so there's a limited amount of money. So like, at the end of the day, when you have people are paying you, they don't care how much time goes into it. They want to know, am I going to get where I want to go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
And some people will pay for convenience 100%. Like,
you
10
can
minutes.
Pay with time, money, energy, or focus. If you don't have like money, you can invest the other few. If you have money, then you don't have, you know, then you can save time. But there's always an investment.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Okay, so productivity and AI tools.
Next segment.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of an AI tool baby, to be honest. So this is fun for me. I want to learn.
Okay, so here's the thing. There are a lot of tools right now that are marketed, and I paid for all of them, and I hate all of them. That say, hey, we're just gonna have AI fix your life, and they say stuff like, oh, if you have ADHD, right, and just like throw your schedule into Motion AI.
Right. That is not how it works.
No, fuck, it does not. Excuse me, because I signed up for that and like,
I got the yearly plan because I was like, well, I want to save 30%. So here we are. We've got Motion now.
That's how they get you.
They gave me oh my god. So and the setup is so prohibitive. I was like, what is this app doing to me? Like,
I've watched probably 2 minutes of one of the tutorials and was like, okay, I got this, and I don't got this.
I watched 2 minutes of the tutorial, bitch, and I went and tried to figure it out, and then I went back and commented on that YouTube video and was like, what is going on? Is this, I need to upgrade?
I was told that this would solve my problems. I was told that this is it, and this is not
dumber instantly. Like, made me feel dumber instantly. It's my fault, because the thing is called Motion AI, and they don't ever explain that to you. Like, design is design. Do you know what I mean? Like, if a place is badly designed, it doesn't give a fuck about you. It does not care about you.
That's true.
So, like, we should start thinking about design. I mean, imagine if you go to walk into a bank and you open the door and the glass shatters. You'd be like, done. I'm not coming back here again. This is insane to me, right?
That's
or you go to McDonald's and you can't figure out where to order at McDonald's. You're like, where do I order? It's like all these, like, that's bad design. Like, they don't want your money in the right way. They're doing something that is covert. Or that's just not thought out.
If you have a product or service to sell, you should create a golden bridge from where that person is to where they want to be, and make it abundantly clear exactly what needs to happen in order for them to buy, and then what they need to do in order to be successful. We shouldn't have to guess. We shouldn't have to figure it out. It should be clearly demonstrated.
Right. I don't understand why people are making AI so complicated. So Steph wants to use AI tools. So Steph, are you using like so how familiar are you? You're using generative AI tools like Gemini or ChatGPT, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I know ChatGPT and I know the concept and I understand all of that. But
I got this.
Trying Claude AI.
What do you need?
I love Claude. That's what I was about to say. I got one.
Which one?
Claude.
Oh, Claude AI. Okay,
it's
I don't think it's Claude.
I'm French, so I say Claude.
Claude.
So my coach has a client that she had sent me her website. She's like a copywriter, and she does this. I thought this was a genius idea, but it's content subscription. So like every month for 3 months, she sends you this AI copy buddy where you fill in all the information about your business, give it to Claude as inside a project. And then every month she sends you like 20-ish content prompts to give to Claude, and it'll create the post for you in your brand voice. And it's genius. And it's just like a little Google Doc that she sends you. And for whatever reason, that's how I made that post new here or whatever. I fixed the font on it, but it's just like having somebody just tell me what to do. I'm like, oh yeah, we could do this. We could do this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've gotten real deep into getting Claude and all of them to figure out to write in your brand voice. And I think that's just an ongoing process.
See, I was into that for a while, but I got so deep in it and I started to have these contextual arguments all the time where I'd be like, we spoke about this AI.
Right.
Like, to my rule. And then I realized so I prefer when I just do a post and I just rattle it off and then I turn the camera off. Do you know what I mean? Like the posts that I'm doing now are not written. They just literally, I just think of an idea and then I put the TikTok on for 60 seconds. So like that keeps me constrained, right?
That's true.
So the first one will usually just be me getting like trying to set it up. And then 60 seconds will be over and I'm like, okay, record it again. And I won't edit or do takes anymore. All I do is cut out the silences. I don't edit out the homosexuality.
What about doing hooks? Like, do you just make the post and if you can't get it in the 60 seconds, we'll do it again?
Like, so the hook I always think of right at the beginning. You know, I try to think of like what's going to talk about me being a coach and like whatever. So the hook is the very first, the beginning. And then if it's really boring, I'll add like one of these like all the techniques that people are using, like where they'll be like, bitch, you know, or whatever, like where it starts off where you're kind of like shocked or they'll spit out their coffee. You know what I mean? Like those sorts of things. Like a good, if you want people to stop on are you looking at the metrics that tell you when people go away from your post?
Oh yeah, it's like immediately.
Yeah, mine's usually within 2 seconds, right? But don't worry, that's the common metric. Like most people do swipe away, but it'll get less and less and less. And so your goal is to do something right away. You know, give them a little side boob. I don't know, whatever you can do to make them. So I'm just kidding.
I need to buy some more revealing clothing because
I'll tell you what. The other day you were by the pool and you were all. And I was in that room like, yes, girl, get it. It was just, the look was good, the visuals were good. You don't have to.
Yeah, haven't fought it.
Why not?
It doesn't have to be sexy. It can be anything, right? It could be like the trees behind me. It doesn't have to be sexual. That's just where my mind goes. I'm a guy. What can I say?
Mine too. But I'm like, like, why shouldn't I use it?
Right.
And then I have like all these guys in my room and they'll hit me up like acting like they want to start a business, but then it's like,
they want to start another kind of business.
Like, can you help anybody turn their passion into a business? And I was like, what, like any passion? And I was like, well, kind of, like, why? Like, what are your passions? He says,
as long as the passion isn't your
right.
Foot fetish.
Cars, sex, money.
I have horrible feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You own a foot store. You have access to feet all the time. Feet are just coming in and out.
Listen, the amount of foot pictures I see at dinner is like illegal. Like
dinner.
Oh yeah, like look at the one I had today. It was an ingrown toenail. And there's like blood spewing everywhere, and it's yeah. Anyways,
dinner
at dinner, like.
You're like a gynecologist, but for feet. Like, I feel like when a gynecologist goes home to his wife, you know what I mean? Like, I know, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like or a guy who owns a gyno practice. If like is it gyno? Gyno,
I guess.
Gyno. He's like, I don't know about any of that.
Right.
The man that looks at the vaginas or women.
So, I mean, like he goes home to his wife, and his wife's like, "Honey, let's have the sex." Do you think he's like, "I'm noticing some discharge. Like, what is this here?" Do you know what I mean?
Or like, if she asks him, like, "What did you do today?" and then he has to speak about all the vaginas he saw, right? Like,
right. He's like, "Can you imagine?" He's like, "Mrs. America came in today. Miss America came in today. Yep, the current Miss America." And I looked at all of her business. You know,
right?
Perfect woman, right? Wouldn't you be? So
That's
jealous?
what it is like dating a nurse or probably a doctor or surgeon. Like
that is like the Mindy Show.
Yeah,
I love the Mindy Show.
I've never watched an episode of the Mindy Show.
Oh my god, it's so funny. I feel like you would love her.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I've never watched it. Anyways, what were we talking about? I feel we squirreled. Like I'm gonna find a way to add little squirrels when we squirrel on
right.
The squirrel
like,
segments.
They're called ADHD tours. That's what I call them on TikTok.
Yeah.
ADHD tours.
Shoot. Anyways, well, yeah.
Wait,
AI.
so,
Let's go back to AI productivity.
Yeah, AI
tools.
productivity. So, see, I remember it well. Okay, so AI productivity tools. So you guys were telling me about Claude AI.
Claude AI.
So you were saying it feeds you. So what is? I didn't get that. I got lost. You were saying like every week, every month, you get like a set of prompts, and then you give them back to Claude AI.
So
Isn't that money laundering?
it's called this AI Copy Buddy Plus subscription. So like it's geared
I lost
towards
my
this
connection.
season of the year. So it's stuff for like helping you gear up towards end of year sales, Black Friday stuff. But like before you even get any of the email subscriptions, she gives you this AI Copy Buddy that has all of these like, details that you fill in about your business, about your offers, about your voice, about your messaging, and that's uploaded into a project in Claude. And then every month she'll send you prompts to create all the different kinds of content. So like carousel ideas, story, reel, email. It is so cool. It was like $160 or something, and she does it for 3 months. And I just wanted to try it to see, and I was like, this is such a good idea. And then
that's in line with a lot of the stuff I want to do, like the little
Claude.
journals and books and things like that.
And it was such an easy delivery thing. I was like, oh wow. Like, and she didn't even have to have the subscription content ready when people purchase the subscription. Like she's promoting the subscription. You have to buy it by August 26th, and you don't get your email until September 5th. So when you buy it on the 26th, you do get that AI Copy Buddy, which I'm sure she had already designed for another offer. And then she has a week. This is the way to do sales and marketing. I'm just convinced is like you sell it first and then you make it. You do not.
I never had. I have ADHD. I've not made it anyways.
And that's the thing. If I have a deadline, if I have a goal, if I have something, I'm gonna get it done. So 100%, I need to start doing that. That
like if somebody buys it and pays you for it, you're gonna fucking do it. Like,
right.
Because that's how we work, right?
Yeah.
Right. I have a final paper that's due at midnight tonight, and I'll get it done.
Oh yeah, you will. You 11:58, right? But and it'll be done kind of still well.
7 maybe.
Right?
It'll be done. I mean, it'll be done very well to her knowledge.
Yeah.
To my professor's knowledge.
Have you noticed if you give yourself a time limit for something, like with me setting up my Motion AI, if I said I'm going to have this thing set up in 30 minutes, I'll get it set up in 30 minutes. I'm going to start using this thing more. This is really helping.
Right.
I bought one of those too.
Yeah, because we just don't get dopamine. If you're an ADHD person, you don't get dopamine until that end point. Like so other people are getting the dopamine a lot earlier where they're just motivated to do it. We are totally pigeonholed. So I don't even notice that it exists until that deadline comes up. I didn't remember it. I don't know. You don't know how many people's feelings have been hurt because like their like special dates or whatever. And I'm like, run down your story again. And they're like, I have known you for years. And I'm like, I just don't remember dates. And I don't, those sorts of things don't occur to me. Like I'm just right now I'm 100% in and I'm like, this is the best. And then once this light goes off, I'm like hoping another light goes on somewhere because I will, like, so like Dr. Neil Theory talks about this all the time with the Now Habit. He says that you have to shorten, like look at the goal first and then shorten the goal. So he's like, whatever that big goal is, look at it, put it on the calendar, and then you need to create other markers that are like smaller, shorter things. So instead of saying like, I have to write this paper, what I did last night, like I had a goal of last night, I had to have an outline, right?
Yeah.
So at least like now it's not so hard that I know that I'm going to write the paper because I already have the different parts and I can take them from other papers I've written the whole semester.
And once I have an outline, I can do it. Like I know I can do it. But it is
so
breaking it up into smaller chunks.
Yeah. So ask yourself, Steph, you were saying you want AI marketing tools, right?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't started yet. So I guess my question would be, I have more time to dedicate to coaching, and I don't think it's going to be coaching as much as, for example, or just talking about like, I have optimism versus pessimism, right? I want to share the concept of that with people. And I was even talking to my wife today. She'd love to do kind of a podcast with me where we're so opposite. So I want to share perception. I want to share those kinds of concepts. So I need to basically create the marketing around that, or how am I going to tell people that I have that? How am I going to
what's the offer? How are we going to make money from that?
Well, it's not so because people are going to love me
Manny's
so much.
mind.
They're going to throw money at me.
Right.
But I think like for me,
she's like, where's the money? Come on.
For me, I don't want to focus so much on money than just recording these thoughts and offering either kind of a smaller part of it and then a bigger virtual course version of it or something like that, right?
So right now you're going to be the offer is going to be like a course, maybe like some sort of virtual course.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. So you said optimism versus pessimism. I love that.
That's an example.
So when you're talking about so to start, you want to have a conversation in like a podcast form. You think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Or TikTok. Okay. See, I don't even know. I'm just throwing things out there, right? But I'd love the podcast.
Have you used Opus Clips?
I downloaded and I'm paying for it on a monthly basis, but I haven't done anything with it, right?
Oh, well, all you have to do is put a link in. So for instance, like once we have it published to YouTube, you can put the YouTube link in, and Opus will use AI to automatically analyze it and tell you what's the most likely viral clip, and it gives you 30-second viral clips that you can you can pick TikTok, and it'll make it, and it'll do the captions and everything. Take out the silence.
And it'll post it for you. I haven't had good luck posting it directly from Opus Clip to TikTok.
Me neither.
One thing Mike told me
I just
is
have
like
to save the videos.
Yeah, he'll look at the clips that it comes up with, and it just kind of like jogs your memory. And usually, it'll cut something off or whatever. And he's like, "I'll just make it the video myself based on the clip of what it's told me has the highest virality score." So I haven't tried that.
So Opus AI. Okay, I'll look at that for sure because like I have conversations with myself, even in the car or whatever. Hit record, like I'm just talking blah blah or whatever. Right. And I want to for sure extract that and create something out of that. Yeah.
And I give you just like my own advice, and obviously I'm not an expert, for like if you're creating a short video, how to make it like more interesting once you've already recorded it.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I learned this from Opus Clips. What Opus Clips does is it takes because when I start telling a story, I think this is the most interesting part. When I'm setting it up and I'm explaining or whatever, right? So that's where I would start the video. I would start way back from when I just started and said, when I'm setting up a video, sort of like any tutorial. But people aren't into that anymore. They want to start at the point where you're like, fuck, bitch, pay attention. This is what's happening now, right? So that was at the end of my that was at the end of my segment. Do you hear what I'm saying? So what I do now is I just cut the video to the most actionable part, right? Play it so there's only a little bit left. Play it, and then just that part goes at the end.
Yeah.
And it's twofold. It not only starts the video with just something actionable.
So you take out the last little bit and put it at the beginning?
I take out the last little bit.
Yeah, I hate watching videos like that. Like, oh, here are the 3 things you can do to, stop ADHD, and then they just ADHD, and then you have to go to the end to find thing number 1, and it's like
or where they bait you with like something. They're like, Justin Bieber just got in a lot of trouble, so we're gonna tell you about it in just a minute. Justin Bieber started as a young singer.
Oh my god!
And you're like, and you're trying to get to
the
watching my videos, you'll be watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is actually when I started talking, so I'll cut the beginning just out and start at the interesting part.
Even more extreme, get to the most action. So that's all AI is doing.
That's smart.
It's analyzing like when something different is happening on the screen or when your voice is high or whatever. So you get to the point in your story that's the most whatever. Okay. So like, and then just start from there.
Will you have that at the beginning and at the end where it is like the copy?
No, because you don't need it at the end, because so the best part is when you do that and then you're watching, it loops because it's playing the beginning. So that's how you see these videos where people are like, this is what a video. You ever seen a video that goes like this? Like, you need to understand how to do videos. And then they give you a whole list, and then they go, and that's why you need to understand.
Yeah, they handle that. That's why.
Watching the video,
and that's so good for their view.
I like that.
Well, yeah, because people just sit there and watch it because they don't realize they're watching the same thing for a while because people are fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? So they're just sitting there watching, and they're like, I do that shit all the time. I was at somebody's house, and I watched this big fish in her tank, and I was like, your fish are so beautiful, and she's like, yeah, well, and I was like, well, they're all beautiful. She's like, it's just one. And I realized I'd just been watching one friggin' fish.
It's the one fish.
So what other tips do you have for us on making better content? So I'm going to keep myself to 60 seconds. Do you ever watch other creators and like recreate their stuff, or no?
All the fucking time. All the fucking time. Okay. So when I watch what they're doing, I'll be like, I know what you're trying to say. Like, and that's just my own perception. That may not be. I'm like, I know what you're trying to say. Done. and I just go do whatever I'm trying to say. I try to be as critical and competitive as possible. So I put on a different persona, because when I am watching TikTok, like, I'm by myself, because if you heard the things I say, it's horrible. I'm just like, you don't deserve to exist. That is boring. I am not interested.
I love it.
I become a producer, like a TV producer, and I'm looking for like that whatever, because then you start to think in terms of like,
are you doing this from the For You page, or are you searching for terms for videos?
Usually, so For You page, but then sometimes I'll use that Creator Search Insights. Do you use Search Creator Insights?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't post from that anymore because it's not rewarding. They don't do shit. Like when they're like, tag us and do all this shit. Bitch, I did that a billion times. No, I'm not doing it no more. We're done here. I'm just not. I don't kiss on the mouth. I'm like pretty woman. So
you whore.
But so yeah, no.
Okay, that's awesome.
And they probably took it from someone else. Like that's like, okay, I wouldn't do somebody's video like word for word, like
if you're making it,
it's already a better version of what they're doing. Yeah, you can do a better version of what they're doing.
I think that's okay. Like there's so much stuff out there, and 100% they took it from somewhere else. Like unless it's like
are you just going to be doing TikTok? Because so Carla told me, so she's on Instagram mostly. Like she's only got like, I don't know, maybe 100 followers on TikTok, but Instagram, she's got like 3,500 or something. And I had been wanting to go to Instagram because it's so much easier to sell shit. You can have links in the stories. And she said, your TikTok's great. Whatever you're doing is like, it's working. But like, she's like, essentially TikTok's great for the virality, the audience building, like getting your name out there. And then when you start charging higher ticket, like when we're talking about like $10,000 packages, they're going to go on Instagram and validate you there. And then also Instagram has the voice note DM thing, which I love, which is so good for sales and tonality.
Me too.
So what do you think about that?
So I would say that you are at an Instagram place for sure.
Yeah.
That you and Steph as well, because Steph has got a brick and mortar business. You know what I mean? So I would say that you're at an Instagram place for sure. I am very ADHD, so I love the fact that like TikTok just owns it, and they kind of just manipulate the audience, and they kind of just the creator doesn't really have a lot of control over anything.
No.
And there's no evidence in my timeline because they jumble things around. Like it's not like Instagram just keeps your timeline the same. TikTok decides when they're going to put something out and push it out to the world, and it can be a post that's 6 months old.
She was like, what I just said, but then like. She said that you don't want to repost the same exact thing from TikTok to Instagram because then they have no reason to follow you on both. But you can like repurpose the theme or the topic or whatever. How would you go about, like, how would you coach me going from TikTok and adding Instagram to my thing? And I just think stories are so good for sales. Like get the polls.
That's what I was going to say. So I repost my TikToks as stories because they go away on Instagram. So,
that's smart.
Yeah, but just make sure when you save the video from TikTok, save it before you
the branding thing.
You don't have to,
because otherwise, that TikTok branding will be around, and Instagram. I read that the algorithm hates that.
They do.
Instagram,
makes sense.
I'm just proud of Instagram for having an algorithm. That's cute. But
it's cute that you tried, Steph. And for digital products and stuff, like you're talking about Instagram all day, you can sell those things Like
Instagram
I've never gotten into Instagram. I just went this weekend and I played with it. So I need to up my Instagram game for sure.
Yeah, I would say that the reason why people that tell me they haven't been into Instagram that are adults is because it's such a brand that it has been marketed towards just a certain kind of person, right? It would be like if I told you, like, I've never gotten into football, like, never played it. You'd be like, well, obvi, right? Because it's just certain things that they've marketed themselves towards that just don't apply to me.
TikTok for me, when I was just starting, it was like a place that I could be authentic because nobody knew me on there. I wasn't scared. And now, and then I was scared to do Instagram for a while. I was like, I don't want my boss to find out. But now that I fired my boss, I'm like, all bets are off, baby. Like, I can do whatever I want.
And I think those are the tiers that it goes in. I think TikTok is very short form, very temporary. It's for a buyer that maybe isn't as sophisticated, right? Just somebody who, that sort
more
of buyer.
Emotional.
But I like the fact you're saying it's reusable. So whether I can create it on my computer and then I can just create two very similar versions and post in both.
That's the other thing so the only posts that I've had that do well now, I post them from TikTok, from CapCut, their TikTok web. TikTok web interface is so nice. You can you can time your posts out. You can post them out a week from now, and it'll time them and everything.
Cool.
And if you post from the CapCut to TikTok web thing, they have an AI short thing.
Do you go in there and find a template and then do it? Or like, what do you do? How do you do?
It's gotten way, way better to CapCut. It used to suck. It used to suck really badly. So CapCut Web is the best tool. It's better than the app, than the Windows app, right? Or the computer app, because CapCut Web will do AI shorts. It just like it uses the same
like Opus.
It's the same script and everything. It's using the same AI as Opus AI.
So now I'm already confused. Okay, because I do have Opus and CapCut. So if I was to create a video,
you can get rid of Opus,
and then I have Loom as well because I think it's free or whatever. I'm gonna create a video tonight about optimism and pessimism. What should I use?
Okay. So what, to record the video?
To record the video. To record and edit, I guess. Yeah. Well, I need to record it first, right?
So honestly, I just record my videos now usually in TikTok. Like I record them in TikTok because it's the format. You know what I mean? Like
with your phone or on the TikTok Studio app?
Oh no, with my phone usually. With my phone usually. I usually don't ever record on my computer because the camera's better on our phone. So and you can just kind of move it around and so I record it there, and then I just now that I'm not tied like this right now, I can just click and drag it over to my computer, which I love. Like the file, it's just on my computer. And then like when you text me, all my messages come up here and stuff. I love that.
Okay, and sorry, to make sure, you're recording using the TikTok app.
Yeah,
you're not recording using the camera app on your phone. You're using the cool.
I usually use the TikTok app, but sometimes I use the camera app. It's whatever.
It looks way better than your just phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I use TikTok because I love the filters and the effects.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to myself in real life anymore. Like
no, me neither. When I see myself in real life, I'm like, oh God, who's that bitch? Like, oh my God.
I used so beautiful.
An age filter one time, and I looked so bad. It was like I scarred myself.
What the one that ages you?
Yeah, hated that.
Oh, I won't. Why would somebody want to do that?
It did it on accident. I didn't even want to do it.
It can. I don't even think it can operate from my phone. I don't know why anybody. What sort of bigotry is that? I'm not going to get involved in that.
Come on now. So what do you use CapCut for? Like,
okay, so CapCut. So then I just throw it into CapCut on my computer. I have the CapCut app, and I use the computer app. But now they have CapCut Web, which is just the website, and it has more advanced features. It has a long to short AI, which I love because editing your own videos is a different part of hell. It's just
it is.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So you record it in TikTok and use the AI to cut it for you and add.
Yeah. I just use the long to shorts AI to cut if I'm doing a long to short, right? Now if I'm just doing a TikTok post, I just do it in TikTok to keep the 60 seconds. And just make sure you hit the little down arrow to save the file before you exit the app. Right.
So then you'll take that file to CapCut and do what? Even if it's a short.
If it's a short, then I just use the CapCut Pro features to get the captions and stuff. And then once you're done with it and it asks you to save, if you say that you're going to save it to TikTok, it'll allow you to pick the time and everything.
That's you can,
which I love.
Okay, and then what do you do with Opus AI? That's just
do you use any of the templates?
So that's what I was going to say to you, Steph. So I don't pay for Opus AI because CapCut uses the same AI now.
Okay. I'll start with CapCut. I'll focus on CapCut.
Yeah.
I think Opus is paid for the year, so that's.
Yeah, I've paid for Opus already.
So I totally missed. I paid them for the year, but I totally emailed them and was like, I'm not using this anymore, and they gave me back a prorated refund.
Okay,
that's amazing.
They just email them and tell they'll give you a prorated refund because I was just like, because I also wanted to give them the feedback, like if you're going to be using a shared AI, it's like somebody who's delivering something to your door that like you could buy at the grocery, the exact same thing, but the value is they're delivering it to your door. But like I gave them the feedback, like you're using the exact same AI that like several companies that I pay for are using. Like, so I just don't see the value, so I wanted them to know, like maybe do something else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like,
or be a little bit better so that I pay for you instead of the other one.
Right. So
would you use templates? Would you use templates in CapCut? No.
I don't use templates anymore. At the beginning, I used to do a lot of effects and different things and whatever. I'm not doing that anymore because I'm trying to just get better at focusing on like the storycraft and selling. Those are the two things that I know that I can do. And like, so I try to just find clever ways to like sell without making it seem too formulaic or like, because I got tired of watching, like, there are a couple coaches that I follow that I love. There's this guy, I can't remember his name, but we look very similar, everything. And I'm like, I'm gonna beat you one day, bitch. He's amazing, right? Totally different lanes. He's not in my lane as a coach. But when I see him, the thing that I love is like he always begins everything with like a little bit of a narrative, and then he goes into like, "Hi, my name's da da da, and I'm a coach that does this, this, and this." And then after a while, I thought, I wonder if like you could be more clever, so like people were watching you and they were enjoying, but they didn't necessarily feel like you were selling. Do you know? But still selling.
That's what it's about these days. Yeah.
Right. So I just started thinking of stories in my life, like anything that's ever happened to me, or just stories that I tell to my friends about like my life. Because of ADHD and autism, I say the same things over and over and over.
Same.
So I was like, well, what are the things that get a lot of good feedback of those things, like of those stories? Like, what stories do people know me for? Or I just find myself telling someone a story and I'm like, bitch, save this in the vault. Like, ooh, this is a good one. Yeah. So then what I'll do is when it's time to do a TikTok, I think about what I want to sell, like for my coaching, and then I just try to match it to a story, right? I try to match it to a story. And then I think, what is the, like, skip the whole setup of the story. What's like the most, what is the peak in the story? You know what I mean? Like, what's the most important thing? So I thought about when I was in addiction, and I thought about when I went to some erotic parties, right? And I realized, oh, these were erotic parties that famous people were at. Diddy was at a lot of these parties. Let's talk about Diddy parties, right? So then I did a bunch of posts that were just all Diddy party, right? But I was selling my coaching service. You know what I mean? So you just find a way to like to start at that thing, and then, you know, even if that thing is not present in your story, you can always say, well, now I know better because I'm a coach and blah 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 blah. But you know, just continue. You know, so try to find interesting narratives, like interesting stories, and even if they're not about you, you could just talk about celebrities. A lot of people, they talk about like a celebrity thing that's going on right now. Or
Carla gave me, I'm supposed to make 2 posts a week promoting each of my offers. Yeah. And I need to start doing that. So I need to come up. And she said, in my human design, I have the gate of inspiration and the gate of storytelling. And when I first started with her, she's like, I don't see much storytelling in your content, but you have this amazing story. And she was like, I really think a tagline for you could be like, you know, I used to be addicted to drugs. Now I'm addicted to success, and I'm addicted to like your success, and you should be too. I love that. But storytelling. And I'm like, okay, I got to tell more stories. And it's like, I even forget all my stories until I'm talking to somebody. And then it's like, they come out and I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. Like,
yeah, but do you know why that's happening?
Why?
Do you know why that's happening?
Why?
Because it's the same reason why we dream at night. Your subconscious brain, that same part of your brain that activates all of those schizoid characteristics in a lot of people, right? It's that imaginative part of your brain that all that genius comes from. It is not allowed out to play unless you're feeding it with like social connection and safety, right? You've got to feel 100% safe. So if you're just go, you can't just turn on that magical part of you and be like, oh, little Manny, come out to play. That bitch doesn't want to come out to play, right? She's like the little child within you. Like when you were a little girl, you promised her that when you grew up, you were going to have fun, you were going to be successful. And let me tell you something, you've just beaten the shit out of her, like make her work all the time. And so she doesn't want to let that creative side doesn't want to come out because she's like, no, bitch, you're not, I don't feel safe here.
And I can feel her dying inside. And I know that it's not fun. Oh, I hung out with my friend Rebe this week. We went to the pool and I'm like, she's like, what? Like, let's do this again. I'm like, I'm literally free anytime. Like, I just want to get out of the house.
Right. But you know what helps? I think like you don't necessarily even have to do anything like go out with anybody or whatever. You can just interface with what you really like. Like, so I knew that I was going through a phase like that a couple weeks ago, and then maybe it was like a month ago, and I found out I got into Sabrina Carpenter, and I was so grateful because all of the songs like hit me on a personal way, and I was just like, oh my God, I love this, right? So as long as you just allow yourself to be in there and then say to yourself, this is the moment, right? So instead of thinking like, oh, I've got to schedule this with a friend or whatever, like me sitting there listening to Sabrina Carpenter while I'm driving down the freeway with like the windows down and I'm drinking a bubble tea, like I'm just like,
this makes me so happy.
I'm so happy. Like I was just happy that she didn't suck. Like so many artists just suck. she's like, it's like creative stuff. And the more that I learned about it, I was like, okay, well, she's not like Taylor Swift because there's like 20 people writing the song. Like that song Taste.
Yeah.
And like the guy who wrote for the Rolling Stones is on that song. Like she has
it's so good.
writers.
And the instrumentals, like everything is just, it fucking hits,
it's
man.
on fucking point. It's so on brand. It's like, what is, it'd be like if someone was like, here, get this cotton candy. It's like 100% made of kale and like no sugar, like no carbs, nothing artificial. And you ate it and it tastes like cotton candy. You'd be like, take all my money.
Take all my money.
Sabrina Carpenter.
I just paid this girl to do my branding. I'm going to have all new branding in a week. I'm so excited.
That's amazing. But you have to have things in your toolkit that when you feel depleted.
I got to get more into the music. You're right. So I want you to send me all of your artists. I'm 100% down with Sabrina. I've been like jamming out to her. It makes me so happy. I think the reason I have been spending so much time with my clients because it's like that's what fills me up. Like there was a point there where I was meeting with them for hours at a time, twice a week. And it was like work just wasn't getting done. And when I started with my new coach, she's like, there's no possible reason they would need to talk to you that much. Like they should be doing the work, And so now I'm meeting with them every other week. And it's like, I think the reason I was meeting with them so much is because it was like validation. And
it just feels good because like,
I just love them. And I love working with them and talking to them. And it gives me ideas about content. And so now that I have more time to create, I'm going to give myself more time to just be Amanda and play and have fun.
But you have to have things in your toolkit that you know about. Because what happens is if you just give yourself the time, you'll be like, oh, I feel horrible. I need to numb out. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what to do in that time. So you have to have just things that are in your toolkit.
Okay,
like what are the three things that feed you? So
listening to music.
But listening to music.
I was listening to this thing on the self-love challenge. Like he was like, find a place in nature that makes you feel alive and go there. Like during the day, just fucking go there.
Ooh, a place in nature. I'm thinking the food court.
Yeah, right. That's my favorite place in the world.
Freaking jungle.
I know.
No, I like Piedmont Park. But okay, so music, nature, what else?
Going to the pool, talking to a friend on the phone.
Music, nature, and pool friends. Okay, yeah. So the next time that you're not feeling like you're in a thing, I'm gonna be like, bitch, do some music, do some nature, do some pool friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What about you, Manny?
Steph?
What about you, Steph? Why did I call you Manny?
I don't know.
I was like, you just hit me.
Right at you.
It's gonna be funny because it's almost the same. And it's again, like you guys know that I've been super busy with a whole bunch of stuff in the past couple months. I haven't played guitar. I used to play guitar and sing songs like all the time. Yeah, I'm not a great singer, but since I've been 18 years old, I picked up my guitar yesterday.
Like in a leather jacket.
I mean, it is part of the lesbian contract that we have to learn like Melissa Etheridge songs and stuff. But I picked up my guitar yesterday, so for me,
the Melissa Etheridge.
Yeah, so for me, it would be to play music, I guess.
Well, you put your birthday.
Not know who Melissa Etheridge is.
Can y'all put your birthday, like your time, date, location, in the chat so I can do your charts?
I can't remember if I was born at 7 a.m. or p.m.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
You don't know?
I have to ask my mom. I think she's
studio chat. That's what you want?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait,
what's my birthday? I was born in the 1900s. I think it's 3 a.m.
Manny, do you know who Melissa Etheridge is?
Yeah.
I wanna come over.
Come to my window. Anyways, nature. I've been renting cottages.
Where were you born?
Where?
Yeah.
From my mom's. No, I'm kidding. And what would be? I think woodworking would be kind of a third one. Or actually, I think teaching. I think I miss giving workshops. Oliver, really? Is it the woodworking?
Woodworking cracks me up. I mean, it would just
listen. I have this beautiful TikTok I want to do about my box because I do beautiful boxes.
Imagine if I told you that mine was like sequin, like doing sequins. You'd laugh too.
Anyways,
I'm on a podcast right now.
No, sorry, I put it down.
I got it.
I know. I wasn't born in Ottawa.
Right
sorry.
When was I born again? They're asking.
Yeah.
What time?
Oh, what time of day?
I'm on with my mom.
Yes.
Hi, Mom.
3 hours of the morning.
Did you say 7 a.m.? Okay, it was in the morning.
Yeah, I would say more like 3 a.m.
Oh, okay, 3 a.m. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
No?
Yes, Mom. Love you.
Bye-bye.
That's so random. Mom. So yeah, so I'll say that teaching. I want to teach people. Yeah. So and I think that's where giving my course comes from that too, you know?
Is Ontario or Ottawa? Which one's the city and which one's the province?
Ottawa's the city. Ontario's the province. I have a pet beaver and I live in an igloo. Electricity is new. Like, we just got that this year, you know?
Boat?
Hey?
I know that about Canada. A boat. You're welcome.
A boat?
The host.
A boat.
The host.
Where's your toque, eh?
Eh?
Hey.
It's the weirdest accent. You know, there are certain accents that are, like, I have family from all over. I'd say it's a weird accent, but it's not annoying weird. I'll tell you what accent is annoying weird. Is like a New Zealand accent. New Zealand accent, Australian accent, not into it. Like,
I love
you
it.
think you're
I don't understand
it. Okay, Oliver, give me your stuff.
Like,
yeah, Oliver.
June 11.
What year? You can put it in the
chat.
chat.
1981. Stephanie will bleep that, I'm sure.
No, I'm gonna put it huge on the screen.
I bought this shirt and it says 1981 on it, and 3 a.m. Yeah.
And where?
Orlando, Florida Hospital, Orlando.
So Orlando's the city and Florida's the state.
Florida's the state. Well, see, we don't have provinces really here, Steph.
Right.
But it's like the province is the state.
Yeah, but those sound very similar.
So isn't the province like the Isn't Providence like the couple?
The province is the equivalent to a state. It's just we have and depending on when you went to school, I think there's 10 provinces, 2 territories. Oh my god, that's so awful. It's like the planets, you know. Pluto's not a planet anymore, but it was when I was a kid.
There are 10 states.
Yes, if we were to say
Oliver, I think I got this wrong.
And each province has a capital.
Did you say June 11th, 1981?
Yeah, if anyone's okay, I may want to date in the future. Yes, that's what we said.
At 3 a.m.
That's gonna be the title of the video. Hype was born in 1981.
Wait, this is so crazy. I thought you were a manifesting generator. 1981 at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
you are an emotional projector. That makes so much sense. Of course, 6 like me.
Wait, what does that mean? What do I emotionally project?
So this is really good. This makes so much more sense now, and you have the gain of recognition.
Oh, good. I mean, wait.
Okay, so like I told y'all before, we have manifestors and generators. It used to just be them. The manifestors were like the big picture visionaries. The generators had the physical energy to get things done. There was an energetic imbalance. The manifestors were the rulers. They were taking care of the generators. So projectors, which is us, came onto the scene, and we see things. We see systems. We're really good. Like, it's our job to guide energy and make things more efficient. So what we're supposed to do is find a system that we love, whether we make it up or whether it's another system that we really like, and use it to help people use their energy more efficiently. So like, it's like we see ways. We're like the smarter, not harder fucking crew. Like, that's our sign. Okay.
Lazy smart. That's what I call it.
And so you just see things from a big picture, like what needs to go where people are like lacking, where they need to move. And it's like, it's not our job to do all the physical work. Like,
oh, I love this.
Yes, this makes so much sense for you. It's our job to guide the energy, and we have to wait. Our strategy is to wait for the invitation, because projectors are just notoriously bad at seeing ourselves. Like, we can see into other people. Like, we see into them very deeply, and not everybody is ready to be fucking told about themselves. So when we give too much too soon or without an invitation, it just leaves both of us feeling like bitter, like they don't know what to do with it. And we feel like our advice or insight wasn't valued. And so, but then when people do ask us for help or their insight, like, we just know. And so projectors, because our aura is like focused, it's like a bow and arrow. We're the most sensitive out of any of the types, because we're picking up on everything from the environment, from the other people, from the cues. And so, like, we need time to kind of decompress. And I've had 2 projector coaches now, and I can say it's like, every projector needs a projector coach, because like we're so into it, it's hard to even see ourselves. And like, I was telling Carla about this, and she's like, sometimes you need one projector to get you to a certain point, and then you need another one to get you to like that next level. And I was like, that makes so much sense. Like, because I just kind of felt like I had outgrown her. And then you're a 4-6, which is what I am too. So that's the the opportunist role model. So it's like, we're very social, but withdrawn. Like, we need to be around people, but we recharge by ourselves. And so there's this constant push-pull between wanting to be around people and not wanting to be around people.
Wow. That's 100%.
This makes so much more sense. And being an emotional projector just means that you have this emotional wave. So clarity for you isn't necessarily something you have in the moment. So when someone asks you something, you might not necessarily have a yes, no right then. But if it's not like a hell yes, you just say not yet. And like, we make decisions based on what feels good. When you are experiencing success, you're on track. When you're experiencing bitterness, it means you've overextended yourself in a situation or a person or whatever, and you're not getting what you need back.
Okay, can we just pause 1 second at how cute, freaking cute behind your shoulder?
Keep going back where you were. He's just like,
it's like literally your best audience ever. Like, as you were talking, he would just be like,
that's like, so really cool.
My friend Sarah, because she's always talking like in her dog's voice, and I said, what do you think Jackson would sound like? She's like, Jackson's like the surf guy who's just like, yeah man, it's cool, like whatever, like that sounds great. And he's just like happy, like he just doesn't really know what's going on, but he does, and he's just happy.
He's like, she's doing it, oh my god, she's doing it,
amazing.
Oh my god.
I love it. Hey guys, can you let me out the room, please? Like, no offense. Oh, this is boring.
So cute.
Yeah. So you need to be using this gate. Hold on, I can give you some content ideas based on your chart.
Treats? Cheese? Walk? No.
So
can he hear us? Yeah. My dog would be like, what?
Yeah, he's a little eye rolling.
This is so crazy, Oliver, because I had done your chart before, and we must have had the wrong time, because this makes
I think I told you 7 a.m. because my mom, I thought she told me 7 a.m. before, but I just, I
think that's what it was.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I told you 7 a.m. last time, or 7 p.m., whatever. But she told me I was born in the morning, so,
We're going to go with it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would go with her with the answer we just got on the phone. Could y'all hear her?
Yes. Yeah. She sounded lovely, actually.
She does. I love her.
She sounded like she would be a good narrator for a movie or a book or something.
Yeah. My mom's a director, and she's done a lot of like
there you go.
Theater and stuff like that. Yeah. And then so she doesn't act anymore, but like whenever she does a play, she'll on the PA system like do a little speech thing before it.
Can totally see that.
I told her she should do a YouTube channel where she just does meditation and manifestation videos, and then direct them towards acting.
What?
The way she's like, no, her partner, Steph's partner walked behind and like did this like funny like walk. She like opens the door.
You do you, bro.
If I have to walk behind someone when they're on a Zoom, do you know what I do? I hug the wall the whole time so people just see me slithering along.
At least she was dressed up. Anyways, whatever. What was the point of that? Like, I told them I'm filming a podcast. I'll come in the laundry room. Like, she came in, did nothing, and left.
Oh my god, you're gonna love this, Oliver.
Anyways,
yeah.
So when I start with a new one-on-one client, I created this fire game plan template in Claude, and now what I do
such a worker. When Manny talks about these things, I'm like, that's more work than I've done all year. And it's just like one thing she's done.
You're going to love it. Okay, so your channel you have the channel of recognition. You are the focused networker. It's all about recognizing patterns and connections that others might miss, gives you the ability to see the unique genius in others and help them recognize it in themselves.
Yeah,
Content
I'm really
ideas.
good at picking out.
This is so good. You're going to love this. So some content ideas for you are like the hidden genius spotlight, showcase how everyday behaviors reveal innate talents, connect the dots post, illustrate how seemingly unrelated experiences contribute to one's unique genius. Genius in action case studies, analyze public figures or historical characters highlighting their unique genius. I just told it.
I love that.
Networking tips for introverts. I just gave it your chart, and then I told it your niche is you help people get unstuck and uncover their unique genius, and it made this whole thing.
Love that. What is that from? That's the Human Design app or what? Wait, can you do Steph's next?
It's your exam thing.
Hold on. So this was, I have a thing called, what do I call? Oh, it's called Genetic Matrix. That's how I get the charts. And then I plug it in, I give it to Claude, and I have a template in there already for this Fire game plan that tells me exactly, and it's even got prices and offers and everything in there for you for the next 90 days to get you to.
Thank you so much. Wait, so tell me what was that called?
90-day revenue projection is $40,000. It made 3 different offers for you. It says what's in the offers. You're going to love it.
I love this. I love the way you're like, you're going to love it.
You're going to love it.
Also,
well, this is what Carla did for me when I did that 3-hour half-day VIP session with me. Because when I told her what was going on, I was like, so I'm putting all this energy into Fire Your Boss free. And so far, nobody's converted from free to fast. Like, all of my fast clients have just come from TikTok. And she's like, okay, well, we're not going to do that anymore. Because she was like, their offers are too similar. You're giving so much in free. So there's no reason for them to go to paid. And so since I redid all my offers with her, it's just worked. I was like, oh, wow. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, I think there's a certain level of energy that has to do the free to paid. Mike has that level of energy because he's the guy like out front in the stadium. He's like out front, like, come on in, man. Come on in. Come on in. You know, like, and I'm the person who's like, you know, like maybe, you know, on the PA system or something.
And
I'm not
as a projector, that is not your model. Like,
it just like terrifies me. Like Mike is like the most intimidating, like high school coach that I had. That was like trying to get me to run track. And I was like, but I want to be in theater. And he's like, but you're really fast. And I'm like, but I want to be in theater. But I wanted to impress him so much that like I did do track for a semester.
But you could just look into his deep blue eyes and be like, I feel he's calm and chill. Like I don't know.
He is, but he's not.
No, that's what makes it even more intimidating is because while he's like rattling it off, he's like, it's no biggie. Like just do it. Just do it. He'll say that a bunch of times. Like he'll be like, because if you ever see his forums,
and
like,
then he asked me, like, because I was like so overwhelmed with this funnel thing, and I'm like, he knows that if I'm overwhelmed, this is fucking overwhelming. He's like, but what about it is overwhelming? And I'm like, it's like I have to make 4 different fucking videos and A/B test it, and like I can't even think about it. Like,
yeah, it is insane. Sorry, there's a food delivery at my door. It is insane the amount of You can come in. Okay. Yeah, it's insane the amount of stuff that Mike can do.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Can we talk about this food delivery that you're letting? Like, do we know this food delivery person guy?
Like, who is this?
Yeah. It's my friend. It's a friend.
Oh, okay, it's a friend. Okay, because like, come in. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's Atlanta. No, you would have heard pop.
Yeah.
If I was just like, come in. And then you would have been on a mobile podcast while they carried you to the next place.
I do believe my stepdaughter is out for me because the other day, she opened the door. We live in a townhouse, right? Somebody opened the door, and I was like, hello. My wife was in the shower, so I'm like, it can't be my wife. So I'm like, hello, and I don't hear anything. So I run downstairs, right? And the dog isn't even barking. It was the stepdaughter coming, you know, they had plans or whatever. I'm like, can somebody please give me a heads up next time or whatever, right? And today I'm cleaning up, you know, I open the door and she's standing out there. I'm like, what the hell is going on, you know? And she's, I have to talk to my wife. Something's happening.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Do you have do you have a doorbell?
Yeah, I don't have a Ring though.
Yeah, but just you could replace it with a Ring doorbell, or Blink makes one that's $49 that you can. It attaches to the door, kind of like it kind of clips onto the outside of the door.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's just a motion detector. So you know, you can it just will tell you when someone's at the door, so you get a notification on your phone. It's nice.
I sent you your Fire game plan in our group chat.
Or if you want to go even cheaper, just get a wireless door sensor with like one of the smart door sensors, the little.
Well, I do have one, but actually, like, you hear when the door opens. Like, it was just very weird in that moment. I was like,
yeah.
And it was just a matter. We usually lock the door, right? So it was just a matter of, because again, we live in a townhome, so there's 2 doors, right? And the neighbor has a bunch of friends going over, and it's happened once that somebody opened the door and was like,
they come into the wrong house.
Yeah, and they were like, I didn't think this is the right spot, and then he left, right? But we're good at locking the door. But yes, I've been wanting a Ring camera or whatever, but I find it too annoying to install. We squirreled again.
Investment. Yeah, Blink makes one. Blink makes one that's like $49. Wise makes one that's like $29, I think, or $39.
Is it really that big of a value add having it?
Well, so I can't have it here because they don't allow anything on your exteriors in this building. You can't have like, anything on the door. But this building has a concierge, so no one's ever, there's a concierge and then there's double locks, like there's a big long hallway and stuff downstairs.
Right.
So it's not
Like
like you
they're
can
not
just
getting in
wander
here.
in. Right. They're not getting in here. But yeah, if having it when I lived in a house was great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really great when I lived in a house because or when I lived in a townhouse years ago, because you just get the notification and then who all was there.
Right.
It's just nice. It's really
The
really
neighbors
nice.
had a package stolen as well. We're right in front kind of a bus stop, so people could probably just kind of look over and see stuff. We've been lucky, but yeah, I've been thinking about it for a bit.
Steph, you have all of your motor centers defined, like towards the bottom, so it makes sense that you have all this energy and ability to just get shit done. Like, that's just
I was
you.
gonna say that's probably why all her motor centers are defined.
Yeah, and at the bottom.
Do you remember how?
What kind of lover am I?
Do you remember how they used to say that back in the day? They'd be like, "Oh, he's," and it kind of meant, but now it's not okay.
But yeah, I do get shit done quite a bit. I get shit done for other people. But now
I created a plan for you that you've got 3 different offers, and you're like me, like you can't work with everybody, you need to get paid for your insights, because it's just like projector insights are like gold. It's like that is literally your value. Like it's already there.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, you're just getting access, and during this time, if you're ready to receive, this is it. Like
there's nothing better than a projector coach. Like we just see it.
Yeah, we can do those gold moments.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Okay, I'm reading about Oliver's fire game plan. I hope I get mine.
You want one?
Yeah.
Wait, where did you send it?
In WhatsApp or something.
Here, I'm gonna make yours right now.
Okay, yeah. This is fun.
Yeah, because I want to put this to the test, right? I can do something out of this, right?
Yeah. Would you say your niche is like you?
Wait, where did you send it? On iMessage, or did you send it?
iMessage one.
Okay, hold on. Let me check.
Because then I thought you'd have it on your iPad.
No, I don't even know what my niche is. I should probably start there.
Yeah, Steph. I think so. Steph, you what I perceive about you is that you're in a more powerful place than I have ever been about what your boundaries are. Like you're in a good place where you know what works for you and what doesn't. Like I love that about you. Like I'll be like, because most people I can sell them anything and they just get excited and I think they're really excited, but they just don't know themselves well enough. So they get into it and then they're like, that was a lot. I can't. But like what I love about you is I can tell you about something and I could be so jazzed about it and you'll be like, it's great. Or you'll be like, that's not for me. You know what I mean? Like, right away. And I love that about you, because then I know when somebody knows their boundaries, it's so great. So I think that's really good, right? So you and I have strengths that are on the opposite side of the spectrum, where I often I ignore my boundaries and I'm just limitless and I'll go anywhere someone wants me to go mentally just to get them to win, right? And then later I'll be like, why did I do that? It's very hard for me to stay constrained within like a structure because of that. I have so many ideas and so much going on. And I think for you, Steph, it's that you are going to have to take some of some boundaries and go outside your comfort zone. That's your next step. Is like, so I think that the most uncomfortable place for you is like, if I say to you like, okay, Steph, so what is the offer? Like, what are the connecting points? Like, what is the money goal? Like, what are we going to do with this, this creative idea? Like, what can we expect out of it? And I think
I lost you there.
Oh gosh, my thing's acting weird.
Yeah,
and I
you're
think
good.
so. Yeah. I think the most important thing for you is going to be just creating small goals in that area of discomfort. Right. So in the area where, so in areas where when we're like, okay, so you're doing this video and like, what's the offer? And you're like, oh, it's just fun. I'm just going to be creative. It's just going to whatever. Like, I think what will help is if you say to yourself, I'm going to set a small goal. I'm going to set a small goal and I'm going to make a small offer, even if it's because in this video.
You do have a defined throat, which means you can manifest. Like you have a direct, you have a defined throat and
She has a defined throat.
Ajna, which the throat is the only manifestation center, but then you've also got these motor centers. You have a defined G. You really know who you are. You're an emotional generator. You're a 3-5, so a martyr, heretic.
I'm not sure I'm liking what I'm hearing.
No, it's good.
Wait,
like,
she's Joan of Arc. She's Joan of Arc.
It's really good. It's really good. There's no.
I have a defined G, but I'm a martyr, and my throat is my greatest asset.
Listen, my point is, we're trying to move into coaching, and you want your own business. Like, you want to be doing this your own thing, and you have a lot of ideas. You have a lot to offer, but like, we're gonna have to pick something, like a problem that we solved, and like Oliver said, have a goal, because like, a business exists to solve problems. Like, there's a lot of problems you can solve. And so you just have to ask yourself, which problem do I want to focus on solving? Because I just don't see any point creating content or doing anything if we don't have a plan of like why. Like the whole point of creating content and building an audience is to like bring people into our world so we can serve them. So like, how are we going to serve them? And you're going to have to. We got to work on your money mindset in terms of asking for money and setting money goals, because it's just a measure of the value that we're providing. It's nothing more than that. It's nothing less than that. It's just an indicator of the value and the problem, like the value of the problem that we're solving. And you want to help people. Like, at the end of the day,
I want to make people realize, like, one of the things I want to do on a podcast is, what's your superpower? I want you to tell me what your superpower is, and I'm gonna dig, because everybody has a superpower inside of them, and I think that would be my selling point. Is I'm going to extract and put you on a pedestal that you deserve, and show you how freaking amazing you are, because we all are. We all have something unique, and I'm amazing at finding out how things work, right? I'm a tinkerer. I'm a woodworker, right? I was the kid that used to open up the Nintendo to see how it works. I do that with people. I want to know what is good, what is bad, and we're going to extract the good, and I'm going to show you the good. That's my pitch.
So Steph,
that's my pitch.
To help them start a business, or to help them, are we helping them make more money, save more money, improve their relationships, or?
So I think that's where you and I are different. Where for me, I'm not necessarily trying to get somebody to make money, right? Like, for me, I'm trying to get somebody to maybe get more in touch with who they are and figure out who they are, and like, that's going to uplift them so that they can focus on making money, right?
So she's talking about mindset, I think.
Mindset. It's more mindset for sure.
Okay, Steph. So how comfortable? So I was listening to you talk, and the things that jumped out at me that I loved were power pedestal. I love that idea of like putting them on a pedestal to find their power, or some sort of power identifier sort of thing. Like, how comfortable do you feel about like using AI to develop like a strength test or one of those things, so that you can sell a little worksheet right on the Stand store?
Yeah, for sure. So that makes sense.
Worksheet, so people fill out this worksheet, and then to identify, and it will score them to figure out what strengths they have, like what their superpower is. And then the upsell from that offer will be, so if they want like a or you could just sell it this way, like you could just sell it for $25, and it comes where you do a little video with a review, the little loom head where you go over the key.
A score app for it to help them uncover their superpowers, and then there'll be a link for them to book with you.
Yeah, 100%. Because then, it goes into values and why is that, and
the score app. You should do a strengths-based score app. It's because you helped me make my money quiz, but so this actually there's pre-made quizzes and
text you mine, Stephanie.
That score it, and it's like amazing. And I have one in my LinkedIn bio. I have, "Are you a six-figure coach?"
I have one too
for free. I think. I think I'm gonna redo mine though, because what I'm realizing is I'm not just here to help coaches, because I have that marketing coach and marketing consultant offer, and the consultant one is for established business owners who are ready to scale without burnout. Like, they just need a 3-month entire marketing and branding overhaul. So I think I might do like a branding, or like, what's your digital footprint score or something. What do y'all think?
Yeah, so I would say, number one, Steph, it's very easy because she sent it to me. I did it. it's in my, I just have a link in bio type website right now. I'm always changing it. But if you go on cotype.com, and then the second thing is like find out, I did one, but it's so funny. Manny and I are so similar. I started to change mine. I was like, it was too specific. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I think
one thing he said is like use the template and go more general. Like he said that, and I was like, no, I know better. And now it's like,
right. It's like I always want to provide so much value that I create this person in my mind. It's a very specific person, and I realize I'm sort of pigeonholing myself. Like I'm just like, well, we need to find. Like I'm just like, it's so crazy. I'm such a gay guy. Like I just want all fabulous clients.
And you're a projector.
You know what I mean? But a very specific kind of fabulous client. Yeah.
Right.
Lovely, fabulous.
Sabrina Carpenter, basically.
So I have to bounce soon, but
okay.
Well, I would love.
We've got homework. I've got homework. So, but yeah, love y'all.
Yeah, me too. So send me that.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Something AI or whatever. And I'll work on my kind of initial small offer. Like it's the what's your superpower keeps coming back, and it's just like I see it. It's just I should get a T-shirt with it.
It's perfect for now, and you'll learn more every time you start working with a client. You learn more and more, and it evolves with you. We don't need the perfect. We don't have to have it perfect now. You just you learn the most by working with actual clients because they'll tell you what they need, what they like.
You could just sell. So what you could do is you can sell personalized the review. So if you sell it like just as the review, so you'll just have it on the screen and you'll be the Loom talking head, and you just talk through all the things with the person. This is what it says about you. These are your strengths and minuses. And you have, so they kind of have already got used to your talking head. And then when you're done doing the review, you say, you know what, you respond because they have a little qualitative thing where they have to type in at the end. So you kind of know a little bit about them as well. So you say, I noticed that you put in that you were interested in helping with relationships or goals or whatever. If you'd like to continue more, my rates are because you did this, I'll give you a 10% discount or whatever. And then boom, 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 the link.
No, 100%. Yeah. And I want to start. And maybe I'll reach out to you guys and be like, can I have 20 minutes of your time, and then we'll talk about your superpowers? Because everybody has kryptonite as well. A superpower comes with kryptonite, and how do you deal with that, right? Because people take advantage of your kindness or whatever, right?
Oh, I love that. I like having that language because you can always, if you have clients that you talk to that way, you could be like, bitch, kryptonite. We told you about this kryptonite.
Exactly.
Stop people pleasing, bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's just great to have that shorthand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my homework is I am going to set up my Motion AI. Okay. I'm going to do it.
Are we going back to Motion AI? Didn't we say we didn't like Motion AI?
No, we already paid for it for the year, and I have to get it done, and it's going to just be simple. I'm just going to start with because I have my time block assignments from Carla, so I
always have friends like you. Them bitches that be numbing their gag reflex and stuff. Stop. You do too much.
What do I do?
Oh, okay, now I really have to put 18 plus on this, whatever this comes out of. Not for children.
Oh. Okay.
People gag for all kinds of reasons. They didn't say why.
Oh, of course.
But if you can WikiHow it. It tells you how to numb your gag reflex. It takes 20 seconds every night. You need a vibrating toothbrush, and within a month you'll have no gag reflex.
Oh, that's something I really don't need in my life. So we're good. Yeah.
Right? Who needs a gag reflex? Oh, you mean you don't need the information?
I don't need to not have a gag reflex. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now that
I'm happy we figured it out. Yeah. We're good. Yeah. We're like the two kids at the back of the class while the teacher's trying to teach something.
Right. Just to be clear, I'm saying you're that bitch who would do that, Manny, because I don't have the patience. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so she's going to continue on through Motion AI, even though we should cancel.
I just have too much to do, and I need it to be somewhere because I just can't.
I get what you're saying. I know. No, it makes sense in my brain, but then my body can't. That's why I still got this freaking gag reflex.
Oh my god, this came up with some really good ideas for you, Steph.
Okay, cool. Send it over.
You have a bunch of channels, which is crazy. You have the channel of concentration, which is the focused detailer. You have the ability to focus intensely on details.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That is one of my superpowers.
Order from chaos.
Yeah. And that fucks me over because when somebody
she can create order from chaos.
Yes.
Well, clearly because she's here with us. So.
That
lesbian
is
power.
100% a superpower. And the detail thing gets me in trouble because like I'll see something and I'll be like, this is crooked, and they're like,
this is really good for you. Okay, I'm sending this to you, Steph. I'm gonna set up my thing, and Oliver, those were really good ideas for content.
All right, love you all. It's 4:30 and my internet's acting weird.
It's got a plan for you guys to get to like 40,000. Steph, your plan gets you to 16,000, and it breaks down 3 different offers for you as well.
Dang.
I just want to be rich and actually, for once, getting shit done. Like, I've been talking about this for 4, 5, 6 years.
You need somebody who's going to hold you accountable to what you say is important.
Yes, I just need to get it done. So I'm not going to focus on
bills. You need a lesbian for your lesbian.
Yeah. Just find one. You can find them on TikTok. You can find them anywhere.
You need a lesbian for your lesbian. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always have to have a lesbian in my life because they're just like, they keep me on track. Right. My lesbian friends. But what does a lesbian do when she needs a lesbian?
Exactly. We all need someone.
Oh yeah, no, perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna start getting things done and find a lesbian.
Find a lesbian.
Okay. Yeah. I can butch it up on the phone for you if you need me.
Okay, great. No, but okay. So amazing as usual, folks. This was a great squirrely conversation.
I enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Right.
Yeah, and I love the spontaneity of like this morning podcast today, and it's like, yeah, I feel if we again kind of set up the times, we'd be like
opposite of what we started, where we're like reading a script. You remember?
I know we've come a long way. Okay, I say next week we're gonna do.
Have you listened to that lately? That was amazing.
We wouldn't have gotten here if we didn't start there. So, next week I think we should do this like self-love challenge, which is basically what Oliver was telling me about. We don't have to do the challenge, but he suggests taking 1 hour like chunks, like you do it for 3 weeks. And so for 3 weeks, there 3 days out of the week for 1 hour, you do something that's just for you, like dancing, singing, painting, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do it for 3 days, but I'm only saying that because of what Oliver told me I need to do. The reason I can't come up with stories is because I'm like all work. So I'm going to spend 3 hours this week having fun with Manny and being so we can talk about how we did over the week.
Okay.
How we took care of ourselves and our creativity and just having fun.
Cool. That's awesome.
Is that good?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. And whatever else we come up with. Okay.
Goodbye.
Love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.